Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, good day to you, depending where you are in the world. I'm here live in London doing our nighttime devotion from the devotional Conflict and Courage. I was trying to get the height right on this side. It doesn't matter. We're doing our daily devotional, nighttime devotion, Conflict and Courage by Ellen White. The title today, She Gave Her All. Mark 12:43 and 44. Believe me, this poor widow has put in more than all the others, for they have all put in what they can easily afford. But she, in her poverty, who needs so much, has given away everything, her whole living. Jesus was in the court where were the treasure chests, and he watched those who came to deposit their gifts. Many of the rich brought large sums, which they presented with great ostentation. Jesus looked upon them sadly, but made no comment on their liberal offerings. Presently his countenance lighted as he saw a poor widow approach hesitantly, as though fearful of being observed. Watching her opportunity, she hurriedly threw in 2 mites and turned to hasten away. But in doing this, she caught the eye of Jesus, which was fastened earnestly upon her. The Saviour called his disciples to him, bade them mark the widow's poverty. Then his words of commendation fell upon her ear. Tears of joy filled her eyes as she felt that her act was understood and appreciated. Jesus understood her motive. She believed the service of the temple to be of God's appointment, and she was anxious to do her utmost to sustain it. She did what she could, and her act was to be a monument to her memory through all time and her joy in eternity. Her heart went with her gift. Its value was estimated not by the worth of the coin, but by the love to God and the interest in his work that had prompted the deed. The rich bestowed from their abundance, many of them to be seen and honored by men. Their large donations had deprived them of no comfort or even luxury. They had required no sacrifice and could not be compared in value with the widow's mites. Her example of self-sacrifice has acted and reacted upon thousands of hearts in every land and in every age. It has appealed to both the rich and the poor, and their offerings have swelled the value of her gift. God's blessing upon the widow's mite has made it the source of great results. So, with every gift bestowed and every act performed with a sincere desire for God's glory, it is linked with the purposes of omnipotence. Its results for good no man can measure. I didn't scratch my nose today. She gave her all. So, this is where everyone comes to give their gifts in the temple, to make their offerings. And as is said, the rich and those with well-to-do, comfortable luxury, they came and this is my pouch of silver, my pouch of gold. Yes, take it. That's fine. And it's what our rich people do today. They give to charities, they give to this, they give to that, and it's all good PR for them, just as it good as it was for these guys here. But then this old lady, she turns up with two, let's say 2 pennies. That's all she has. 2 pennies is all she has to her name. And because the temple needs the donations, etc., she places the 2 pennies in the offering. And she is so humbled, that it's just 2 pennies that she can put in rather than, I don't know, £2,000 by someone else. And she tries to hurry away without being noticed. But of course, Jesus sees her. And he has great admiration for her because of the offering she has made to do God's work, to put forward for God's work. She gave her everything for God's work. And she didn't do it with ostentation to show off and to look good. All right, yeah, it's only 2 pennies. What does that do, really, in the whole scheme of money? But it's not what the money, it's not about the money, it's about what she gave up for the work of God. How often do you give your tithe? Every time you're paid, every time you're given something or some money, or even your time. And this isn't just about tithe, this is about her giving what she has for the furtherance of God's work in the temple. How often are you willing to do that? Give up your time, your skills, your money, food, whatever it is you can give up. And it doesn't have to be just 10%. 10% is just a benchmark. What are you willing to give up for God? For the furtherance of his work, to help others. Those that can't afford shopping, bread, cheese, milk, whatever, eggs. How often is it you would give them the money so they could go and feed themselves? You have to have, you have to, yes, you call it charity. Charity is a whole different meaning in this day and age. Charity is like the name of an organization, but it's not about that. Charity is about having love, compassion in your heart, having charity. And giving up your last 2 mites for something that is worth bigger than you.